Welcome back. Sandra Bevacqua is a PhD in molecular and cellular biology and a women's health specialist.
She educates her clients and their healthcare providers in understanding the complexities of nutrition, blood chemistry balancing, and how these techniques can improve health over the long term. She joins us now. Dr. Sandy, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. It's
so
a pleasure.
let's start with talking about how does blood become imbalanced?
Well, there's so much happening in our environment these days. We have depleted soils, which lead to depleted foods. We have a lot of toxins, age, and disease. I mean, each age that we go through, each decade, the nutrient needs change in the body. And each type of difficulty that we might have with our health is also going to create different needs and changes in our biochemistry. And also, we're getting exposed to chemicals more so than we ever have before. There's toxins coming from fungus and molds and bacteria, and the levels of heavy metals are higher than they've ever been. And we also are getting exposed to the chemicals that look like hormones, causing hormone imbalance, such as the pesticides and herbicides. And they're more prevalent than they've ever been before. We're getting, just hit with a lot of the environment, and it's leading to a lot of disease states. We have a lot of people with type 2 diabetes that are coming in for blood chemistry balancing, and oftentimes they are able to at least lessen, if not go entirely off of medications, and they balance out quite nicely. And we have people with, as I mentioned before, hormone imbalance is a huge deal. Bone health is very, very susceptible to our environment, and so we want the women and men with osteoporosis and osteopenia to get their blood chemistry balanced in order to get that density back up and get their health back. And it really does have a big effect on that. And also, as I mentioned, toxic exposure. If we're getting exposed and it causes imbalances, you balance the blood back out again, we can get rid of those chemicals. And we're taking in, if I don't mention it now, we're taking in more sugar and alcohol per capita than ever before. And those are toxins too, okay? So there's a lot of reasons. In fact, the people that have cancer oftentimes benefit tremendously from blood chemistry balancing, because they're getting treatments that are causing imbalances. And then what happens is, if you balance them, they can receive their treatment without having as many symptoms. So I have a lot of physicians sending in their patients for that sort of balancing.
Is it possible that maybe we're not feeling well and we still have that imbalance, but maybe like blood tests would show that we're actually normal?
Well, you're describing me from years ago. I felt a great fatigue. My blood chemistry said I was normal, but I didn't feel really well. But it turns out that detailed blood chemistry analysis and the way that we're doing shows a lot of details. It shows if someone is sleeping at night, if they're stressed, if they're over-exercising or under-exercising for their body. You can see if they're eating their vegetables or if they're getting enough fiber. There's a tremendous amount of information that can be gained from more of a detailed blood chemistry balancing, not what the normal physician would do. Okay. This is something that's very detailed, and it creates a very individualized way, and we can come up with solutions for people that, actually my job is to just create a menu. Each person determines what they want to do. Some people want to go and eat their vegetables, some don't. They find other ways. Okay. And so it's very individual, and we can meet each person's needs.
And we hear about people who eat, very little amounts, but they're still gaining weight. Is this something that can be looked at when we're talking about balancing?
Oh, yes. That's a really big one that we, it's gaining the weight very easily or not being able to put on weight. These are signs of blood chemistry imbalance. So yes, absolutely.
So if any of these sound like symptoms that someone's dealing with, maybe even if they have had blood work, go in and see if you can get something done a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, an in-depth blood chemistry analysis can give a tremendous amount of information and quite a lot of relief. I see people when they do get balanced, they find the way that's easiest for them, they blossom like a flower. It's amazing what happens. The energy comes back, they're vital again. They get their vigor, and it's really quite nice. It's very gratifying work.
How often would you recommend for somebody to get a test like this?
Well, not any more often than maybe once a year, I would think, unless there's a serious issue going on. But once a year is the most often, and for many people, once every 5 years. is all that's really needed. Once they balance their blood chemistry and they know what to do for their body, because all of us have different genetics, we have different age, we have different conditions and different history. So it really makes a difference as to what you need. Once you know what to do with your body, you don't need to have it done.
And I know we've covered a lot of topics each time that you've come to visit us, and you actually have a free gift for the viewers that have been watching.
Yes, I do. If you call the office and just say KGUN9, you were a listener here, then what you can do is just ask to schedule a free 10-minute consult, and I'm happy to answer your questions, see if this is the right thing for you or not, and maybe even get you started in the correct direction for something that you're dealing with.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, covering all of these different topics, and I'm sure this is just scratching the surface of everything that you can help with, so thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And for more information, you could log on to wishforlife.com, that's the number 4, or you can call 743-0575 to schedule a free 10-minute appointment with Dr. Sandra Bevacqua.